I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Okay, well, this is now our official start of mudslinging, the
Thank you
good
for
kind.
everybody that stayed here through the troubleshooting phase.
Yes, yes.
We
Thank you very
appreciate all the
much.
help.
It takes a village. But I want to say hello to Jess from JM Clay, who is here with me, my partner today in this journey. Jess, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's so fun to be working and talking with a fellow potter.
I agree.
So, if we just met, um, how would you introduce yourself?
Well, I'd say my name is Jessica, and I have my own little business that I'm trying to start up called JM Clay because I'm not a very creative person when it comes to certain things. So my initials were good enough.
You are JM, and you are doing
And
clay, so that's your name.
I am
I like
JM
that.
Clay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. How
And I
did
like
you?
to make I like to make weird and wonky things.
Is that how you got started, or how did you get your start into the pottery world?
So I was driving around doing DoorDash and had to deliver to this paint your own pottery studio. And I thought, this is so freaking cool. I haven't seen one of these since me and my husband got together, which is like 15 years ago now. And so I started painting pottery, and it was so much fun, but it was so expensive. So my husband was like, can't you like make your own things to paint? Do you have to buy all these expensive things? And so I said, I guess I could try.
Oh,
And I
because
found a
at the paint your own,
studio.
they charge you per
They
piece. Is that
charge
right?
you per piece. Yeah. And it's like
Whoa.
$45 per piece for some of those.
Wow. And that is just for the unfired or the bisque fired
The
ware.
bisque fired piece. Yeah. And it was
And so your
getting
husband
really
was thinking
expensive.
that you needed to make
Thinking,
your
let's
own
save
bowls.
money. Yeah, let's save
Yeah,
money. Make your own bowls and paint those, babe.
right
So
on.
little
So
did he
from
know
that
he'd be
comment,
spending thousands of dollars in pottery equipment and video equipment.
yes, yes,
He was
that's the
trying to save
beginning.
money, but he failed.
Yeah, I love that. Well, it's nice to have somebody who is, a supportive partner who encouraged you to kind of pursue this because it led you here.
Yeah. It was
Once,
the paint your own pottery was like the gateway drug.
where did you go from there? From Paint Your Own? What was the
I
next
went
chapter?
to Claymore Ceramics and met Sarah, the owner of Claymore Ceramics.
Is that
And
there in Florida?
I yeah, it's here in Naples. It's like a 5-minute drive from me. And I got a 10-hour punch card and I binge watched YouTube, like binge watch all these people teaching you how to throw pots. So they were throwing these pots, and I was watching every detail of these videos. And then I went to the studio and I'm throwing by myself. And they were like, how long have you been doing this? I said, well, this is my first time ever throwing on the wheel. And they were like, this is your first time throwing on the wheel? I was like, yeah. Why? Am I doing bad? Like, does it look awful? And they're like, no, I can't believe you're throwing on the wheel right now because this is your first time. I said, yeah, this is my first time.
That's
And they were
amazing.
shocked. And then I got a commission while playing at the studio for a couple
I hate to
of
interrupt,
mugs
Jess,
for
but I
teachers.
have to just point out something that I think
Sure.
every single potter who might be watching this can relate to. is that feeling that you must have had when you were at that studio and had so much skill that other people were impressed. Like veteran potters, I think all have fantasized about going into a beginning class and pretending to not know anything. What a cool moment for you. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Right on.
And
But so when I interrupted you, sorry, you were talking about a commission.
so my my daughter's friend, we were at a trampoline park and I was showing her pictures of the pots I had done and telling her about the pottery. There was a language barrier, but we made it work. And she was like, "Oh, could you make me some of those and put the teachers' names on them?" I was like, "I guess, yeah, sure, I could do that. I could make a
Wow.
couple of mugs, stamp the teachers' names in there, and
So
so
how'd
that's
you make those mugs? Was it at your house? Was it at the studio?
it was at the studio. I didn't have any pottery stuff at my house at the time, so everything I did was at the studio.
What style
And
of mugs
I
would you say? Was this your discovery of, I don't want to give anything away, but was this the discovery of the sculptural mug?
This was not. The sculptural mug goes, hold on one second. The sculptural mug is a little further into the journey. So this was me
Okay.
just figuring out what works, what doesn't, like what's the best way to slip and score this? What's the best way to join these pieces together? That's where I was
And
at in that journey.
such pressure too to be doing this for money.
Right? I wanted
Let
them
me
to be
figure this
perfect.
out. Yeah.
Like if I could go back and remake those mugs for her, I would do it.
That's awesome. So you got those mugs to the teacher. What was the reception? How did people receive them?
She thought they were great. She loved them.
Gosh, congratulations. That is no small task. So what happened next?
So after that, I was sitting in the studio just making things. I was trying to do more hand building and less wheel throwing because I felt like wheel throwing, okay, you make a circular shape over and over and over and over again. What can I do with hand building? So I went the hand building route and I was just making random little trinkets. And the owner of the studio asked me what I did for a living. And I said, well, I don't do anything because I'm a stay at home mom. I, I, I say don't do anything, I do a lot, but I'm a stay at home mom.
Yeah, some of the most
And
busy people on the earth,
yeah,
stay-at-home moms.
I don't do anything to make money. I don't get paid to be a stay at home mom. And she was like, do you want a job? Would you be willing
What?
to work here? And I was like, what? I said, why do you want me? She said, well, I feel like I can teach you a lot and you're already absorbing so much and you're learning so much. I would love to work with you. And she
Oh
offered me
my
a job at
God.
the studio. And that's where I learned how to teach throwing, teach hand building. I had these homeschool kids that came in twice a week for like 6 weeks. And they were like my students and we made different things every week. It was awesome. And but then I started having seizures,
Oh gosh.
and it scared Sarah. So her being a small company didn't want to be liable for anything, so she let me go.
Oh, I
But
see.
while I was working there, I worked with this girl Andrea, speaking of slug mugs, and she did all kinds of sculptural things. It was amazing. And one thing she made a lot of were she was an art teacher and she made a lot of slugs for magnets. So she made slug magnets for her classroom. all different kind of spots and speckles on all these slugs, and I just thought these slugs were so cool.
Magnets for the
And
kids or
ma just
just
to
just
put up around their classroom to hold
uh-huh,
notes and
decoration.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I told her, I said, "Andrea, how cool would it be if you put your slugs on my mugs?"
Gosh.
And then the slug mug was born. And Sarah sitting next to us, because we were at a table together, I was doing mugs and she was doing slugs. And Sarah, the owner of the studio, was sitting next to us. She said, "If you do that, you better make the slug the handle." And I was like, "Oh
Yes.
my gosh, yes, the slug needs to be the handle."
I love that that just came about as a sort of
Just a
organic
casual conversation.
collaboration. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just a casual conversation in the studio. It happens all the time in there where one person is working on something and then somebody will come up and say, "Hey, what if you did this?" And
Tell us
everybody there
about
is so
these
friendly.
slug mugs. Do you have one handy, or can you describe what the look of them is?
Well, I think I have one. I don't. I think they're all in the kiln right now.
Oh, right on.
And the slug mug that I do have, I have one. It's in the dishwasher, and because they are dishwasher safe.
Yes.
And then the other one is in my room holding magic cards.
Sweet. It's amazing
But
how a mug can be a mug, a cup, a vase, a key holder,
yeah,
so many things.
yeah, but they're amazing little mugs, and it's just fun to say, "Hey, can I have coffee in a slug mug?"
Hmm.
And then some people like having a little slug in the bottom of their mug because the dishwasher is just gonna pressure wash it out.
Sure.
But some people are like, "No, that's too sketchy. What if stuff gets stuck down in there?" So some people are
Right.
like, "No, no slug in the bottom for me, please."
Nice that you
Right now,
can
I'm only making
take
custom
custom
slug
orders.
mugs. Yeah.
And are those available on your website?
Not yet. Not yet.
So,
There's a couple that I want to get done before I start making them for other people. And that's for you, for Jess and Nick, for my friend Matt. Um, I want to get Joel one. I want to get all of you guys your slug mugs before I try making slug mugs for everybody else.
the Pottery family is going to get gifted and blessed the slug mug. That's so nice of you. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
I want everybody to be able to say, "I got a slug mug first." And they're all numbered too. So
Yeah.
each piece is like a unique piece of art. So I number them on the bottom.
Oh, so that, and what number are you on right now?
I am on number 6 right now.
Sweet. So we're pretty early in the production of the legendary
Yeah.
slug
Yeah, they
mug.
take a long time to make those slug mugs because I have to make sure they're the right, because they can't be too dry and they can't be too wet. They got to be just right, like not leather hard, a little bit wetter than that for me to be able to attach these slug mugs and for them not to pop off. And
Oh,
the
waiting
slugs
for
take
it
me
to be
forever
the
to make.
right dryness is one of the biggest challenges, I think, in pottery. It is an advantage that you and I have is that we both work from our homes.
Yeah,
So you can kind of pop out and check. But if you work at a studio, you're covering things and kind of praying to the ceramic gods that it doesn't dry out too much before you have a chance to get back.
exactly. So that's been my journey so far. And then while I was up in Maine, I was just dying to do pottery, and I didn't have a wheel, I didn't have a kiln, I didn't have anything. The nearest studio is 2 hours away in Bangor.
Whoa.
And so I was like fiending for pottery. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to watch YouTube and watch pottery on YouTube. And I came across Joel,
Fresh
Fresh
cup of
Cup of
Joel.
Joel.
the
Fresh Cup of
man, the
Joel.
myth, the legend.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Joel, just in case people don't know who he is.
Joel is in Canada, and he does pottery on YouTube. He does YouTube lives, and I was just sitting there in the middle of the woods, just scrolling through YouTube, and I see Joel, Fresh Cup of Joel, pop up in my feed, and he's just sitting there doing pottery. And I was like, oh my gosh, somebody's live doing pottery. Let me check this out. And he told me how he had just started and everything. And then I told him about a little bit about myself and my pottery journey. And he was like, you should do YouTube. You should go live. I was like, I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm not good at that kind of stuff. I'm not a people-y person. And he was like, do it, definitely do it. I'll come watch. And I was like, okay. So he kind of pushed me into in a good way, pushed me towards YouTube a little bit and introduced me to this awesome pottery family and Discord and everything.
This pottery family is, I don't know if it's unique, but it feels special to me.
It feels
That,
very special. Like there's nothing out there like it.
what was your experience of like being welcomed in, or how did you begin to
Well,
experience the people in
I
there?
like tiptoed in and didn't really chat a whole lot, but I would read other people's chats in the Discord. And then I would pop in when I'd see somebody announcing a live stream. I'd pop into their live stream and subscribe and just watch for a while. And then started making my own YouTube shorts and told people in the chat about it. And they were like, oh, that's awesome. And I got so much love and support from everybody in that group that I was just like, I feel like I'm at home.
Home. That it does feel like that, doesn't it? It's
It
people
does.
who are genuinely kind and just willing to
Everybody
welcome in
brings each
everyone.
other
Yeah.
up, you know? It's just a very uplifting feeling.
Hmm. How are things going with the commission? Have you started working on the pieces? And just in
I
case we
haven't.
didn't get the audio on that, could you give us just kind of the recap of how did you get this commission, and what is it, and um, what kind
So
of design are you going to apply to it?
everybody in Naples that I talk to, I tell everybody about what I'm doing in pottery. Everyone that I come across, I tell. And this one doctor was like, that sounds amazing. Could you maybe make me some pieces, like a dinnerware set? And I was like, yeah, sure, I could make a dinnerware set. It's not
Cool.
how many pieces do you want? And I'm thinking, do you want a set of 4 or do you want a set of 6, right?
Yeah.
Because that would be okay. I could do that. And she came out with this crazy number. She was like, I need 16 plates, 16
Hmm.
small bowls, 16 large bowls, a salad bowl, a large salad bowl, and a soup pot with a lid with a cutout for a ladle.
Wow.
And I
What
was
was your
in my head, I'm
reaction
like,
when you
man, you have had this in your head for a long time to be able to spit that out like that.
she knew what she wanted?
She knew exactly what she wanted. And she was like waiting to meet a potter.
Wow. And what was your reaction? Was that more than you expected?
It was way more than I expected. And I was like, okay, can you pay for the materials up front? And she said, absolutely. I was like, okay, I will get right on that. But she hasn't wanted me to start it yet. She wants to look at different things because she wants it rustic. She wants to look at Pinterest. She's very, like, she has a very specific look that she's going for.
Aha. And how do
And
you feel about that specific look? Is that something that you feel like you can manage, or is that going to be an obstacle?
well, she told me she I told her, I said, "Look, it's not going to be perfect pieces. They're not all going to be, identical 'cause there's difference in glazes, and if I'm throwing every piece, there's gonna be little differences." And she said, "Oh, that's perfect. I don't want them to be perfect. I want them to
Mm,
be, a little bit different each piece." I was like, "Okay, well, that I can definitely do that."
that is so exciting. As a maker,
Because I didn't
that
want her to think they were all gonna be identical. Because I mean, I can throw, but I can't throw like Jess yet, where I make the same piece over and over again.
you mean the other Jess?
The other Jess, Swan City Jess.
Yeah. Yeah,
She's
that's
got
Swan
some
City
mad throwing
Ceramics.
skills.
Yes. When you throw for years and years, uh,
Yes.
that's what you can do. It's amazing, the commitment
She
and the
has
time.
amazing skills.
Hmm. Yeah, she sure does. So we haven't gotten to this yet either, but if you could dream your pottery dream, are you going to have your own shop? Are you going to be touring the TED Talks stage? What is your pottery vision for your future?
Well, I'd like to have a little studio in Calais, right next to the Canadian border. As
House is
terrifying as
in
it is
Maine.
to be that close to Canada, but the
Yeah,
the city of Calais looks like frozen in time almost. It's just so beautiful. Nothing has changed in 50 years. Brick everywhere. The sidewalks, I think, are brick. The road is brick. Everything is everything is brick, and it's just beautiful.
that's amazing.
And it's just a cute little strip, and there's a bunch of empty little spaces, and I'd like to fill one of those spaces and have a little shop inside of my studio.
Hmm. So you would buy a building downtown Calais and
Yeah,
outfit
and
your studio,
I would open
maybe
up
in
a
the
little
back.
studio. Yep,
You want to teach classes or
I do. I want to
just sell?
teach
Yeah.
classes. I want to teach classes, and I want people to have a place they can go to do pottery that is not 2 hours away.
Mm. Nice to know where there is a niche that you
Yeah,
can go there. There's not already a pottery studio. It sounds to me
yeah,
like your
definitely.
future might look a lot like your past, that you've had a really great introduction to pottery and that you want to provide that opportunity for other people as well. Does that sound about right?
Yes,
Oh, that's.
absolutely.
Are there any changes that you're going to make to your studio um, based on your
Versus
experience?
the one, yeah. I think like the studio that I worked at, I feel like if I have somebody work at my studio and then for whatever reason they leave the studio, that I don't want to charge them to use the studio. I want
Mm,
them to be able to use the studio however much they want.
yeah.
They worked for me as long as we're on good terms. I want them to be able to use the space and not have to
And
worry
that's
about
like
it.
an investment in the community that you're willing to make.
Yeah,
That's so nice of you. That's a generous spirit. A nice way to give back to the pottery community.
because I know there have been times where I've been tight on money and could not go to the studio,
Mm.
but that's all I wanted to do.
Tell us a
And it
little
would have
bit
been nice
about,
if I was able to do that.
absolutely, just when you're needing the time to be able to go in there and not have to worry so much about the financial part of it.
Right.
tell us a little bit about your website, where it is, where you're going, what it is. Where can we find you on the interwebs?
Well, it's my name, jmclay.com. I do not have a shop or anything up yet, but it is coming soon. Coming soon to the internet near you.
I love that. So it's a placeholder of sorts.
Yes,
You're working on your brand photography. Are we going to see some slug mugs on there, or what can we anticipate?
absolutely. Yes, you're going to see all kinds of slugs on there. I'm going to get back into my monster mug days because
Yes.
I did monster mugs a while back where it was this mouth on the mug with sharp teeth, and then his tongue came out of his mouth, and that was the handle for the mug.
Yeah, I love that. That is so charming.
It
Monster
was
mouth mug. Yes.
monster mouth mugs. Yeah, it was something else.
So tell us about who you envision is your audience, your clients. What kind of a person is gonna be looking for the monster mouth mug? Who are you trying to
Well,
woo?
I have a group of people that I hang out with, play Magic the Gathering with. It's a card game,
Oh yeah, I know
and
magic.
it's geared towards people like that. Like I want to make commander mugs. Do you know what the commander is? Like the commander decks for Magic.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So commander is like your main character for your whole deck, and I want to make the mugs reflect what your commander, like your commander colors. Like if you have a red black commander, I want to make red black mugs.
Would this be custom then
And
to every person's deck?
yeah, yeah, it would be custom to their commander deck.
That's so cool. So like a page on your website is going to be basically custom Magic the Gathering commander mugs. And they could
Yeah,
reach out to you and say, here's my branding, here's my color scheme, and you're going to make them the mug. And then,
yeah, like
if I
my
may, they
friend,
would then take it with them to their game
absolutely.
and flex on their friends and be like, "Rah, you don't even have a commander mug."
Yeah. And the place that I play is willing to put the commander mugs out there too.
Oh, yes. What a great collaboration.
And my friend Matt actually gave me the idea because he has a slug commander. And I was like, Matt, I need you to test drive a slug mug for me because I test drive everything with him. And
Matt's the guy.
Matt's the guy. And I told him, I said, I'm making slug mugs. I need you to test drive it. And he was like, oh man, that's awesome. I have a slug commander. Could you make it the commander's colors? And I was like, what? You have a slug commander? I'd never heard of a slug commander before. And he was like, yeah, I got a slug commander. Come look. And he showed me. I was like, what? That's awesome. So then the commander cup was born. I was like, what if I made commander cups? How cool would that be? You know, sell commander cups.
Yes.
I would want to bring my commander cup to the kava bar. You know, just put my kava in the commander cup, please.
Yeah, show up with your own mug and say, "Hey, coffee me in here."
Yep.
I love that your designs have such a community or communal investment, that you're open to other people's design ideas, and then you have found your two signature pieces, from the folks at your community pottery studio, and then from Matt helping you with the slug commander. That's very cool.
Yeah, Matt's full of ideas. He's full of ideas.
He
He's
sounds
like,
like a
Jess, what
great
if you did this?
resource.
Yeah, he's awesome.
All right, so we
I
got
don't have very many like good friends, but Matt's one of them.
sounds like a great person to have around. So back to your commissioned effort is it, you're making bowls and plates and soup ladles,
A soup pot? No,
soup
I'm not
pot,
making the ladle, just the soup pot.
soup pot. Thank you. Are those items that you see yourself making and being a part of your brand, or is this just like a one-off sort of a
I think this is like
commission?
a one off because it's not very, I don't know, it's not very creative. I'm more of a sculptural, I'm like, people say you can either do functional pottery or sculptural pottery. And me being me, I was like, no, I'm going to do both.
Yeah, do both. I love that. Well, I want to kind of wind this down for our recording. So I'll ask you a couple final questions before we summarize. But I
Okay.
wanted to start this by asking you, are there other things that we haven't covered that you wanted to talk about?
Um, Not that I can think of. I think we got everything.
All right. Well, then let me give you a couple rapid fire questions.
All right.
As a potter, what's your what's your tagline? Like for me at the goods, it's goods for you, goods for others. And you don't need to have a an exact answer, but what comes to mind when you think about J.M. Clay? What's the soul of it?
Well, I don't really have anything that's really like a tagline. I like the idea of having a tagline. I haven't really put any thought into it.
Yeah.
Something that I say a lot though when I'm throwing is this is not going to be a tagline. It just is the first thing that came to mind is chuck it in the F it bucket.
Yeah, I
And
love
that's
it.
what I do when I mess up on a pot. I'm like, "Oh, chuck it."
Chuck it. J.M. Pottery. Chuck it.
Yeah, chuck it.
That's cool. Your YouTube channel, JM Clay, has had some recent success. Tell us a little bit
Yes.
about what you're making on YouTube and where you're planning to go from here.
So I've been making a lot of like sabotage videos, chaos videos because it's I started with a bloopers video because I was having a really bad throw day. We all have those where it's like nothing is coming out the way you want it to. Everything you do, no matter how hard you try, you can't get a piece on the wheel. And I was having one of those days. So I was like, okay, bloopers video. That's today's video. And it got like 4,000 likes. So
Yes.
I thought, okay, well, I'll do that again. Let me do a chaos to creation video. So I did that. That got 4,000 likes.
Hmm.
And I was like,
And we
I bet I
talking
can't do
likes or are
this
we
the third
talking
time.
views?
Oh, views. Sorry. 4,000 views. And I thought, I bet I can't do that again. So I did one more and it got 14,000 views.
Holy hot dogs.
And I was like, this is getting out of control.
Content not getting what you would want, and then all of a sudden you just hit your stride. What is that feeling?
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. I feel like, well, I did something right for that video,
Is that a home
because I'm new
celebration?
to
Like
recording myself. It's definitely a celebratory feeling.
you're running into the kitchen, getting high fives?
Yeah.
Yeah, my house is
Telling
the same way.
literally everybody I know. And my friend Matt's like, really, Jessica? Really? This is your good news? This is what you
Uh,
had to tell me right now? It's like, yeah.
Good. Matt needs to hear these things. Well, this has been an absolute joy, Jessica, to speak with you and to learn about you and JM Play. And We are so excited to see the future of the slug mug, and I hope that we can have you back to talk about the updates and the results of your commission work because as as a potter, can relate to the stresses that you're going through to make that custom work.
Yeah. Yeah, this was great. I hope we do it again.
Me too. Well, then I guess I will stop the recording and say thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you again. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that was great. Good job. We're
Yeah,
still
thank you.
live on YouTube. And to those people, I just want to say there's something wrong with my chat feature, which I will work on. But for those people, if you're still here, I just want to say thank you very much. But I and then that I'm sorry that I wasn't able to respond to you because I can't can't type. I don't know why. Call it lack of skill on my part. But Jessica, great job. You did a great job on the stream. I'm beyond impressed.
Thank you. I was super nervous the whole time. The whole time I
Yeah.
was just super nervous. Yeah.
So, how did we do? Do you feel like what ways can we improve?
I think we did good. I think we did really good. Um,
I'm
I don't
super
know. I like
grateful
the
for your.
community kind of troubleshooting everything for us.
Gosh, yes, that was so helpful. I wish there was a way I could have fixed that beforehand. I just had no idea because everything on our
Yeah.
end was functioning. The feed showed. I just had some buttons clicked in the wrong place. Yeah, I see Leah saying she couldn't tell that you were nervous. Thank you, Leah.
Aw, thank you, Leah.
Yeah, thanks, Joel, and congratulations to Joel. It was so fun watching him blindfolded doing the 100th episode of Fresh Cup of Joel.
That was
That
awesome.
is outstanding. Yeah, just goes to show you having original ideas isn't always dependent upon being an expert. You know what I'm saying? That Joel began like pretty much his first day on the pottery wheel, and that content that he's creating is so interesting. Um, and I really admire what he's doing over there.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
We had Nick Jordan, we had Jess, the dynamic duo from Swan City, and they are at episode, I think, 90 coming up tomorrow. That might be wrong, but I think that's
Wow.
about right. The one thing that Nick and Jess do, aside from just having the most high quality production value of their work and their stream, is they stream for like 8 hours.
Yeah, that's insane. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it blows my mind. Oops.
That's a long stream.
But you know what they have, and I think what a lot of potters have is we just have these uninterrupted hours on the wheel where we're kind of stuck in one place doing our production. And it really is so nice to actually have that community of people to keep you company as you're doing work.
Yeah, it is. Mandy kept me company during my first stream, like the entire stream.
Mandy is good
It was
people. She's so
amazing.
nice. Oh, you know what?
Made
Just
me feel
one
not
thing.
so alone.
Yeah,
Hmm?
it's great to have company like that.
Yeah.
One thing, not not urgent. I thought we could record is you could show us what you made while we were chatting.
Okay.
So maybe when you're done with this, just give me a heads up and I'll start recording again so I can um, edit that into the video.
Sure. This is my last one of the group that I was doing. I ran out of bats.
Um, Perfect timing then. Let's see, I
Yeah.
see some things here. Fresh Couple Joel said thank you. And yes, Joel, I loved that stream. That was from Leah. Leah said, Joshua, you may have missed it. I said, check your email for tracking. Ooh, the surprise is in the mail. I have no idea what it is. I did have to email Leah a file that was my logo. So I got a clue there. So I'll be really excited, Leah, to see what you have made and what's coming. Thank you so much. Nick Jordan said 24-hour stream this year. Nick
Oh, wow.
Jordan.
24 hours.
Nick Jordan is, this is what it takes, Nick. First you do the 24-hour stream and then you start the This America Throwdown. And before you know it, you're going to have a 9-episode season starring Jess of Swan City, produced by the legendary Nick Jordan. I'm speaking my wish into reality here,
I
Jess.
love it. I love it.
I don't know if it'll ever come true, but
I would love there to be an American Throwdown.
yeah, no doubt. Leah said Mandy is, and then there's an emoji there. I think of, I don't know what that is. Just awesome, awesomeness, the best. Ben Wolf said, great job on today's stream. Best wishes to you both. Ben Wolf, it
Aw.
means a lot to me that a Potter of your caliber would even mess around with amateurs such as us. Ben Wolf has been somebody that when I was a teacher, I I showed my students. I was like, here's how you do it, fools.
Really?
Be like this guy. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's been around. Ben's father is also a established and successful potter.
That's awesome.
Both musicians and just generally wonderful people. I don't know them personally, but I don't know. You just kind of get a sense from their work, from their social media feeds that they're just like the kind of folks that you could definitely go and have a cup of coffee with.
That's cool.
Whoa, Swan City said Nick has literally done a 24-hour stream in the past. He's already done it. He
What?
knows what it takes.
That's
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying.
24 hours.
Nick Jordan is one of those just legends among us kind of a thing.
Wow.
This bowl is brought to you by the Effet Bin. What was that called, Jeff?
To chuck it in the F-it bucket.
Chuck it in the Effet bucket.
That's right.
That's this bowl right here. Effet.
Chuck it in the F-it bucket.
I've got one to go.
Oh, my knee's killing me. Having my foot in that same spot for that long.
On the pedal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had to switch mine to the left side after years and years of throwing on the right side. Like propped up my butt in a weird way. Like, I was having back problems, but now on the left side, I
All right.
actually like it better.
I am going to attempt to show you the pots that I threw.
Okay, let me give you an intro. Just give me a second when we're before you're ready, and I'll do the intro. We got some messages here. Swan City said, "Always love hanging out with y'all." Thank you, Swan City. See you all tomorrow. That's a question. Are you going to be on tomorrow? I know we have a
51st
Tuesday,
state.
Thursday guarantee. Fresh Cup of Joel said, "Thank you, Nick." Nick Jordan said, "Or we go 51st state. LMAO." I want to hear more about that, Nick. Ben Wolf said, "Thanks for the kind words, Joshua. There's no better or worse, in my opinion. There's just creating. You guys are great."
Aw.
That's very humble of you to say, Ben. That humbles me to even hear it. So let's keep creating.
You guys are just amazing.
Yeah, he quite a quite a potter.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to move stuff around.
I'm going to switch you over to a wide camera so that you can we can see more of what you're doing than just the wheel. And then that is here.
Bring these in.
We won't record this part.
Just trying to get my pots out of the rain.
Oh yeah.
I guess I didn't have them far enough in, or the wind is blowing just right that it's all getting all over everything. There we go.
I hope to look back on this stream in a while and laugh at how far we've
Yeah,
come.
I think we will for sure. I think we will.
Okay, I'm going to start recording. I'm going to give you an intro and then I'm going to switch the screen and you'll show us.
Okay, let me switch to this so I can see what I'm doing. All right. I gotta like lift the camera and bring it over there. So you let me know when you're ready.
Well, this has been a lot of fun, Jess, and I thought before we left you could give us a quick tour of the items that you made during our stream. What do you say?
Absolutely.
All right, let me
Grab
switch
my
it over and
camera.
let's have a look. Whoa! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What is it that you were making there? I think rudely I didn't even ask.
I was making little ashtrays.
Are these part of the commission?
No, these are just, they're going to go on the website.
Yes.
I'm going
Can
to
you
put a
hold one
little
up to the camera?
slug. I'm going to put a little slug in the middle. So he's going to go right there. And then this little circle is going to be his little slug trail.
Yes. That's so genius. What sort of a glaze design do you have in mind?
Always something speckled for the slugs because I love it when they're covered in
Ah,
spots.
yes.
And then I'm going to leave the outside completely unglazed and only glaze inside.
That's going to look very cool. What color is your clay body after the fire?
White. It's
Oh, yeah.
white V-Mix.
Oh, we're thrown with the same clay.
Oh, cool.
I'm also a bee mixer. It's a great
A
clay.
V-Mixer. That sounds like a DJ.
Actually, and this is just anecdotally, we can cut this out later, but B-mix actually stands for butts mix.
Butts mix. I've heard that. I've heard that.
And I went to Laguna and I was asking him, I was like, what is the deal with this? And he's like, yeah, it was a professor at a local college there, apparently in California, City of Industry or somewhere close. And that was his name. And so it was
Was
just there,
butts.
it was his custom, yeah. And so they switched it over to B mix to alleviate the confusion with the name.
That's so
So
funny.
now you know the inside secret, though, that we're all throwing with butts mix.
Butts mix. That's appropriate. My butt was on the camera earlier.
Well, right on. Thank you for showing us your pots there, and we'll tune it back now and say our goodbyes. Okay. Well, Jessica, I wanted to give you a chance to say kind of a wrap up and a goodbye.
Okay. Well, thank you guys, everybody, for coming and watching. I really appreciate all of you. It was a lot of fun telling you all about my little journey into pottery. And thank you, Josh, for inviting me. This has been an intimidating but amazing journey.
It has been a lot of fun. You did a great job. I am super grateful for your courage to come on and do this for our first attempt, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. If anybody out there is interested who is a potter in joining us for our second episode as a guinea pig on Mudslinger, the good kind, um, the application process is very easy. You can just send me an email at thegoodspottery.com and we'll set it up. I promise the second episode will have at least one fewer technical difficulty compared to the first episode. Yes, thank you so much. Everybody, I hope you go check out JM Clay, get in contact with her if you want any custom slug mugs, and we will sign off and see you again soon.
Sounds good. Have a good
Bye. Thank you, Jess.